We got Saku Pyle. I'm super excited. Um, so today, we're gonna, before we jump into our content, um, as you all know right now, the market is shifting and it's a skill-based market. In the last couple of years, I mean, you'd go out and get a listing, the ink was still wet, and you'd get 6 offers. But right now is where the rubber meets the road. You've got to have the skills. And if you want to have a 6-figure income, you can no longer use your 5-figure income skills, right? You've got to have different skills. You need new skills. And so here's the question. Are you trying to make new money with old skills? Well, we need new skills. And so that's why we're here this morning. We're going to talk to Saku Pyle. He's got a lot of great info. And so, I mean, think of yourself as a millionaire. If you want to be a millionaire, you got to have millionaire skills, right? And we just have to take massive action. So if you first have to be a skillionaire before you can become a millionaire. So Saku Pyle, go ahead and unmute and share a little.
I am excited about this. I don't know. We lost Tom really quickly, but Tom has so many different images on there. Skillionaire, that's right, brother. Me and Jeff loved that when he said that. So good morning, everybody. I don't know. Can you guys hear me clearly? Is that all right? Am I doing okay? All right, that's awesome. You guys should be in my ears. Let me just make sure that everything is phone, the AirPods. All right. Perfect. Okay. So what Tom was talking about was the as the market shifts, so should your skills, so should your focus and direction. And I am going to go over a few things that you could do to generate income in this market specifically, but no matter what market you'll be in, you'll be able to not only generate income, but you'll be able to grow a significant business no matter what you do. And that's that. I don't know. I see a green circle. I see a green square around Tom if he's talking. The very first thing that I want to talk to you about, first of all, my name is Saku. I am the director of Commitment to Capping. It's a coaching program that is literally dedicated to get agents to cap as quickly as possible. We also focus on iconing. Any agent that's already a capping agent, we get them to icon status as quickly as possible. And all we do every day is simple tips and techniques that'll get you over your hump and get you out of your own way so that you can grow your business. So if you're not in a capping organization and you're on this call, my job is to get you to the skillionaire status so that you can get to that millionaire status. So I'm going to ask your permission today to only talk about millionaire activities. Is that all right, y'all? So I'm only going to talk to you about millionaire income producing activities. I'm not going to talk to you about anything less. I'm not going to talk to you about the status quo. I'm not going to talk to you about what other agents do. I'm only going to talk to you about what I do to generate 7 figures a year in net income. Okay? That's my only permissive question that I'll ask, right? So the first thing that I tell every agent, no matter what the market is, I don't ever believe it's a buyer's market or a seller's market. I always believe that it's an agent's market, a broker's market. It's our ability to put deals together that make all transactions happen. Since that's the case, interest rates don't bother me. Market conditions don't bother me. Inventory doesn't bother me because the same amount of people move every year, no matter what. It's just a fact, right? And so if we don't think locally, if we don't think small, we have an infinite amount of prospects, an infinite amount of business opportunities, especially at a cloud-based brokerage, or especially if we've developed our mind to the point where we're thinking ahead and not thinking behind, right? And so you'll hear me say stuff like, when I'm talking to for sale by owners, and they're asking me, well, what is it that you're going to do different from me? I then turn the question around. Well, let me ask you this. What are you going to do different from the other for sale by owners? And that kind of compelling question is a forward-facing question. It is a challenging question. It is a skillionaire question. Tom, I'm gonna use that over and over again. That skillionaire question, right? Because the reality is that they are not being challenged. All they're doing on a regular basis is saying, "Hey, I don't want to pay a commission." And every other realtor that's running up against the for sale by owner is like, "Please, can I have some more, sir? Please." Right? And that's not the game we play at the skillionaire level. The skillionaire level is, well, okay, I get it. You want to sell this house and you want to keep as much money as possible. What if paying a commission earns you more money than you can do on your own? What's your objection then? Right? Well, I don't see how that's possible. Well, that's all right, because my job is to show you how that's possible. When's a good time for us to get together? So these are skillionaire forward-facing questions. Is that all right, y'all? Every once in a while, I'll stick some scripts that I use, some forward-facing questions that I use in there. Here's the key, right? What up, Matt Stewart? I see my boy Matt Stewart in the place to be. What's up? I see you. So every once in a while, you have to check your purpose. All right, write that down. So in this market, it is going to be imperative that you check your purpose. See, there's two different motives in why people do things. One is profit and one is purpose. Okay? If you are driven by profit, you are going to turn away every single person that you look to work with. You have to be driven by purpose in this universe in order to connect with your audience, in order to connect with your client and customer and prospect base. I see Mel. What's up, Mel? Mark and Mel. That's my girl. What's going on? So in our purpose-based, right, our purpose-based business, what will happen is that you will connect with people on a higher level, more regular basis, even if you've never met them before, even if they're in opposition and they're saying stuff like, I want to be a for sale by owner because I want to make all the money. You look at them, and that is a profit-based motive, and you'll be asking questions to discover what their purpose base is. Does that make sense? So we are working in most cases in diametric opposition to what we should be doing. You know what I mean? We should just be doing it we should be working in congruency with our audience, with our prospect, with our clients and customers. And most times we're working opposite. We're going away from them. So let me give you step one in taking care of this business in this market, in this model. Step one is making sure you are obsessed with your purpose. You are obsessed with your mission. This is a key. What do I mean by this? All right. If I asked you not about Tom Davies' team, not about EXP, not about whatever else you're doing, Mark and Mel, if I asked you, what is your mission? Why are you doing this? How clear could you get that statement for me? Right? Yeah, if you are not obsessed, you're average. I say it like this, Tom, if you're not obsessed with your business, then you're doing it wrong. Right? So I'm going to give you guys a great example. You all, if you've ever heard me speak before, you know I'm gonna always do the bakery analogy because I like the bakery stuff. Although I'm down over 50 pounds, right? I'm 180 pounds from 235. What? Let's go, y'all. Right? But I'm gonna still make the bakery analogy because I think it's clear and everybody loves donuts, right? So if you met someone who was opening a bakery, if you met someone who was opening a bakery, would your assumption be that they were opening the bakery to work the cash register? I see everybody shaking their head no. What would your assumption be? That they were opening a bakery because they had some sort of passion about baking. They had some sort of recipe or something that, hey, I give this a shot by building a business off of something that I'm passionate about. Baking. Do you think they opened the bakeries because they really did a good job sweeping up flour? No. Too many of us get into real estate to work the damn cash register. Too many of us get into the purpose of the business that we started was because I want to do good customer service. I want to give I'm going to give the best service that they ever got. You damn well better give them the best service they ever got. That's a given. If you're opening the bakery and you make it impossible for them to come in and get donuts, then yeah, you're going to go out of business. Better have great service, right? Is going to bring people into the bakery. When you put a sign up that says the world's greatest donuts, then damn it, you better be baking some donuts. So what are your donuts? What is your cakes? As a realtor, what is your passion, right? And mission, convey that passion. I'm gonna give you my mission. You ready, guys? Here's my mission. My mission is to make millionaires out of every agent that I work with. I'm looking to make millionaires out of every agent that I work with for the rest of my life. That's a very clear mission, right? Get behind that mission. If I was to say, hey, who wants to work with me? People start raising their hands. Hell yeah, I want to be a millionaire. Could I be, this and that. Step 2, y'all. So step 1, define your mission, define your purpose. Step 2, ready? This one is going to be more difficult. State your vision. State your vision. So this is my mission, and here's how I'm going to get it done. You're going to want to make it public. You're going to want to read it, recite it, record it, and repeat it. State your mission. Read it, record it, recite it, repeat it. You're going to want to state that mission as often as possible. You're going to want to put it up on the bottom of your broadcast. You're going to want to do a post, and at the bottom of the post, you're going to want to put that there. For Jeff says, I want to create 100 residual millionaires within the EXP business model for the next 10 years. Let's go. At the bottom of every single post, every single social media, every single text, you put that vision at the bottom. You convey it to the public as often as possible. Every time you meet an agent, you let that agent know, hey, listen, I'm looking to create 100 residual millionaires within this EXP business model within the next 10 years. I wonder if you're one of those millionaires. Think about how compelling that is every time you speak to someone. And yeah, so caveat number 1, this is a caveat. 50% of every list you work, no matter how well organized the list is, no matter how well constructed the tabs are, no matter how much you spend on the list, no matter how well you curate the list, how well you dot every I and cross every T, 90% of every single list you have is no. They have no need for you. They're not going to work with you. It's not the right time. No. 7% of every list that you work is not yet. Is maybe. And only 1 to 3% of your list is a yes. And they're lunatics, right? They waited for you to call them in order to get that thing going. So, that's going to be a weird conversation. They start, Tyrone gives me a call and is like, hey man, I want to talk to you about EXP. And it's like, I was waiting for you to call me, Tyrone. I wanted to do EXP for months now, but I haven't spoken. That's a lunatic. So the sweet spot for every list is that 7 to 9%. That 7 to 9% that's not yet is how you're going to build your business. So the third thing on this list is do not discriminate. Call the whole list. Okay, so if the list is for sale by owners, if the list is expired, if the list is a circle prospecting list, if the list is other agents, if the list is buyers that have clicked on your website and have come to you through Set Schedule or Zillow or whatever, call your entire list. Do not discriminate. Get the no's. Write this down. This is a fundamental building block of your business. For building a business in this market, you have to know this. It is only through, ready? This is the quote. I see you, Troy. What up, Troy? I see. So this is the quote. It is only through the examination and explanation. It's only through the examination and explanation. Those are longer words, so I'll give you a chance to fill that in. It's only through the examination and explanation of all failure, through the examination and explanation of all failure, where real growth happens. It's only through the examination and explanation of all failure where real growth happens. So it's only looking at the 90% no. It's only looking at when you've asked somebody to pre-qualify and they didn't, not because they didn't qualify, but because they refused to take the step to pre-qualify. It is only through the failure of your action, not your theory, your action, where all of your growth is going to happen. Does that make sense, y'all? So if I have a list, such and such park, California, wherever, et cetera, I see the Golden Gate Bridge behind Shannon, right? So such and such, Sunnyvale Park in Northern California, right? And I've got a list of owners, and I start dividing that list up between people I'm pretty sure is never going to sell, and pretty sure this guy has an attitude. And this guy, I spoke to him once before when he was for sale by owner, and he yelled at me. And you start surgically dismantling your list before you get the no. What you are doing is you are also dismantling your 7%. Does that make sense, y'all? So I would rather, tip, y'all, I'd rather call a list and hear firsthand that this person is not interested in moving and why, than to eliminate them ahead of time so that I can get to what I think are the leads on that list. Because I'm going to get the same results. Even a lead list, even a list of leads, right? Sophia, you can have a list of people that said, ooh, I want to move. Still going to be 90% no. I don't know, it might be the way you speak, or it might be that, Michael reminds them of their third grade science teacher, and all of a sudden, I don't want to work with this guy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. You don't remind me of my third grade science teacher. He was bald and he had a stutter. So that was a really, really weird class, by the way, Michael. Right? So the point is that it's still going to be 90% no. So what you're going to do, this is tip number 4. What you're going to do is you are going to speak to every seller every week. Write that down. Every seller, not seller like basement, every seller like owner, seller, every week. And I know what you're saying, Tyrone. How am I supposed to know who's selling? You call them up and ask them, get the no. You call them up and ask them, get the no. Now, here's something that's been working like gangbusters for me. Now, this is going to be a tip. This is a secret. Don't tell anybody I told you this. This is worth $1 million in income. This has been working for me like gangbusters. Every day, no matter what day I'm working, every day, I get 3 pre-quals a day. Every single day, I get 3 pre-quals a day. Kim, guess what? I even pre-qual for sale by owners. So every single day, no matter what day I'm working, I get 3 pre-quals a day. So I call my friends, my family, past clients and customers, people that have recently bought or sold. I call everybody and I make them correct me. Listen to what I'm saying, Jody. I make them correct me. So I'll call up Tom. Hey, Tom, it's Sekou over here at eXp Realty. How are you today? Hey, buddy, man, listen, I just found something out and it's absolutely insane. I found out that the average person the average person is more qualified for a loan than the average investor is. Is that crazy? What do you mean by that? Well, I mean, there's only three reasons why most people don't qualify for loans: credit, down payment, or then a long-term lease. Which one is your issue? The rest is history, y'all. On a list where I've already predetermined that 90% of them will not need me, all I'm looking for is that 7% that's like, dude. So here's the key. This is the key phrase that I use. All right, Diane, don't tell anybody I told you this key phrase. Hey, why don't we see how much house you could buy if you wanted to buy a house now? Go ahead, write that down. Why don't we see how much house you could buy if you wanted to buy a house right now? Joe is saying, but Sekou, you said you asked this for sale by owners. I mean, they own a house right now. I don't care. My goal is to get into conversation with them, to get engagement. That engagement leads to further communication. That engagement leads to, the operative word here is lead, right? That engagement leads to more information being shared and most likely will turn into a transaction. So why don't we see how much home you could buy if you wanted to buy a home? I'm gonna have my lender reach out to you. Okay, that's gonna be the key. So if you don't have a lender that's got the chutzpah to reach out to your people, get a new lender. I'm not telling tales out of school. I hope I'm not kicking any lenders that's on this call off of the call. But if you're not willing to pick up the phone and to pre-qual the people that are in my phone, then I don't know if I could work with you. Does that make sense, y'all? All right, here's the formula. This is the formula. This is I call this, you can write this down. I call this my script of process. This is my script of process. All right, this market, any market that I'm working, this script of process does over 100 deals a year normally. Okay, so you ready? Script of process. Number one, I only work with the most motivated buyers and sellers. Number one, I only work with the most motivated buyers and sellers. Mark is like, okay, but how do you know who's the most motivated buyers and sellers? Great question, Mark. I asked them, right? I put them through a series of questions. I asked them about their motivation. I asked them about if then I do the Ford family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. I'll do the Mike Ferry pre-qual if they're on the buyer side. If they're on the seller side, I do that Mike Ferry pre-qual as well. Hey, if what I say makes sense, should you feel comfortable and confident that I can sell your home? Are you planning to list your home with me when I see? So I'm going to really put them through a battery of tests to see how motivated they are. Because point number two, you ready? I said I only work with the most motivated buyers and sellers. This is the paramount question to my daily production. Ready? Who are three most motivated people I could work with today? Who are the three most motivated people I could work with today? This is one line, right? So this is the second point. Who are the top three? What do they need? What do they need? And how will I help them write a contract today? So who are my top three prospects? What do they need? How will I help them write a contract today? Right. So Douglas is saying to me, all right, say, not only are you saying you get 3 pre-quals a day, but you're gonna put 3 contracts together a day. Come on, man, that's a little far-fetched, bro. You expect me to believe that? So on average, I do about, I don't know, 250 to 300 transactions a year, right? With my team and I, we do these transactions. That equals to about a deal a day. So I'll tell you that I'll start 3 contracts and wind up with 1, because that's just the way the world works, right? Like people fall out, people say no, people get rejected, right? But the key to this is understanding that I'm only working with the most motivated buyers and sellers daily. So when I'm speaking to folk, Ethan, I'm asking them, is there anything that could stop you from taking action on your dream home today? Is there anything that could stop you from hearing the offer that's going to help you to move today? Is there anything that could stop you from making a letter of intent on this property that you want to occupy as a commercial entity? Who are my top 3 prospects? What do they need? I make a distinction between what they want and what they need. Ladies and gentlemen, we're all out looking for what they want. Search for what they need. Does that make sense? And then last but not least, what can I do to help them write a contract today? So that's point number 2. Anybody, am I moving too fast? Am I ranting too much? Is this going all right? All right. So here's the third point. It's going to be key. Don't set a meeting unless you're going to ask for a contract. There's no reason to meet. You're not going to ask for a contract. So if your intent is to go see if it makes sense for y'all to work together, do that over the phone. When we meet, digitally or in person, you should always ask for a commitment, a contract, a conversion, something. So I call that contracts, Ty, right? So if I meet with you, if we are meeting as a buyer and we haven't gone to see properties yet, I'm going to ask for a buyer agency agreement. If I meet with you as a buyer and we're going to see properties, I'm going to ask you to put in an offer. Check this out. Every property we meet in. So if we go see 3 properties, I'm going to ask for an offer in all 3 properties. Now, so places like North Carolina where they have this earnest money deposit that's non-refundable, right? That you know, in essence would cost tens of thousands of dollars to be on the line every time we made an offer. I would either adjust how I make my offers with a promise of earnest money, or you know, you would keep it to one property that you showed them. But I think that works to the detriment of the market, and so I would make a big stink about that. But that's just me. I don't think that's the same thing in the state of California. You guys don't do earnest money, right? You guys just do good faith deposit if you do anything, right? Am I right about that, Tom? Just give me a thumbs up. I could see you.
That's right. Thumbs up.
Okay. All right. So that means that I could put in as many offers as I damn well please. Right? And so I'm going to give you my script for getting an offer in every single property. Is that all right, y'all? This one has worked for me. This one has worked for me gangbusters. And I swear to goodness, I wish the numbers were weird, but I'd say it's probably 4 out of 5 times I get an offer on the first property, and 6 out of 5 times I get an offer between number 1 and number 3. Okay? So it goes like this. I only work with the most motivated buyers and sellers, right? We got that tip, right? I'm every single day finding the top 3, figuring out what they need and figuring out what I need to do to get them into contract. And when I go show properties, check this out, y'all. I do not show more than 3 at a time. Okay? I choose the 3 best properties on the market and I show them in order from best to least best. So the number 1, the number 2, the number 3 properties on the market, I go to the number 1 property. I show the best feature in each property first. And I do this every single time. So I'm going to go through this. Forgive me. Let me get into character, my showing character, me, la, la, la. Ooh. I'm in California, so I got to act a little bit, right? Michael is making me jealous. I think I am going to take up pipe smoking. I'm going to go from cigar to pipes, man. They smell better, right? So I get to the property. I always take them in my car. I never, ever go in their car. And I definitely don't let them drive on their own because I don't want them distracted by things like traffic or signs or turns or being lost or trying to figure out where stuff is. I'm always going to drive. I always pull up across the street as often as possible and do like this framing thing where we're walking up the driveway or we're walking up to the property. And in my head, I'm hearing the music from right? So that's going on in my head. Don't make fun of me, Jessica, okay? Is what I do every single time, right? We get up to the property, and if your lock boxes are like my lock boxes, there's always some fumbling trying to figure out where the damn lock box is. right? And so I'm talking to them while I'm trying to figure out where the lockbox is. And I'm asking them this question, Troy. I'm asking them, hey, when I get this lockbox open, I'm going to need your help. I'm going to need you to do the realtor prayer with me. Will you do the realtor prayer with me? And they're like, yeah, I guess I'll do the realtor prayer with you. Sure. So I go like this, Jeff, this is the realtor prayer. Ready? Oh God, please let these keys work. And they laugh and I laugh and this and that. And I stick the key in the door and I jiggle the key and knock on the door because I don't want to walk on anybody playing piano in the nude, right? I've done it before. It's not a pretty sight. Okay. And right before we open the door, like I click the door open, I turn the handle and I crack the door just a little bit. Right before we walk inside, I turn around and look at them dead in the face and I go, Jeff, you realize this could be the first time you're walking into your new home? Let's just take that in for a second. And I anchor them to that moment. Mark, that shit works so well. They get giddy. I've seen 250-pound men go, right? They do that thing, but I don't know what that thing is, with this thing right here, right? Right? This could be the first time you're walking into you. I just want to just anchor you to that moment. That one action, ladies and gentlemen, will set you apart from every other realtor that they're seeing properties with. Okay? We go in, I open the door, I don't say a word. The best feature, let's say the pool in the back is the best feature. I'm not going to go to the pool, but I'll go to the door that leads out to the pool. Jeff says buyers buy with emotion and justify later with logic. That's it. So you make it an emotional experience. Root them in the emotion. That's it. That's right. So I'll go to this best feature and I'm going to, this is it verbatim. I'm giving you verbatim. I say this every single time. This is a script. I say, you know what? I could show you around. This is your home. Why don't you show me how you're going to set it up? And I have them give me a tour of this new house. And we're discovering it together and we're opening it up. I might ask them some leading questions. You know, where would you put the bar for the first party? Or, you know, is there enough light or something like that? If they're not saying anything, if they're not engaging, I will engage them a little bit to ask them questions. Got you. So we walk around the property. They show me around the property. And then we get back to that best feature, right? We walk around however long it takes. And I say this exact thing. I say, hey, how would you rate this place on a scale of 1 to 10? They give me a number. Even if they say 4, that's awesome. What would make it a 10? Right? They give me this gap number. Well, you know, if it had more this or less that or this, that, and the other thing, I say then verbatim, how much is that worth to you? And they'll give me a number. Inevitably, they'll give me a number, or they'll say, I don't know. I mean, what do you think that's worth? And then I'll give them a number. And I'll say, would you like to see if they'd accept the offer at this? And they go, holy crap, do you think they would? I'm like, the worst thing that they could say is no, right? Look around some more and I'll set it up and I'll put the offer together while we're still in the property. 9 out of 10 times, we'll send the offer out. Even if it's low, it starts the engagement. And you know what's hard to do? What's hard to do is to turn down a counter offer and not do anything about it. So when they counter, we start negotiating. It's almost always an awesome experience. If they don't want to put in an offer in that place, or if I don't get a response or anything like that, the last question I ask is, hey, Tom, do we still need to go look at number 2? The rest is history, y'all. Any questions? So 3 pre-quals a day. Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen, those pre-quals are in your phone already. You don't have to go any further than your own phone, your own friends list, your own social media list, et cetera, et cetera. I would ask this question, Michael, of everybody in my phone that is not just in my phone, so I don't answer it when they call, right? So everybody that's in my phone that's a viable contact, I would ask them, hey, when was the last time you took a financial temperature? Why don't we see how much house you could buy if you wanted to buy a house? Let's get you pre-qualified today. Won't cost you anything. Worst that could happen is you find out what you need to do to pre-qualify. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to have people calling you every day to get a house, let them find out they can afford $500,000 worth of house. They will never stop calling you. All right? So get them pre-qualified, get them talking to you. Make sure that you're talking to every seller every week. Easy answer is just draw a circle around a property that's for sale, call the 10 properties on either side of it and the 20 properties across the street I guarantee you'll find 3 more sellers in that batch, right? And when you are showing, make sure that you are asking for the offer. Asking, don't ever meet with anyone without asking for a contract. I think I buttoned that up at the right time, right, brother?
Real quick, so when you're calling through the neighborhood around some recent sales, I remember you mentioned that you've got a great script for circle dialing. What does that sound like?
Ring, ring, ring. Hey, this is my name is Sekou. I'm with EXP over at the Tom Davies team. Hey, listen, man, we just showed the property down the street, and before we put in this offer on that property, I was wondering, would this offer work for you as well? And then the rest is history.
That's money. I love it. That's great. That's great. Well, awesome. Well, hey, does anyone have any questions before we rock and roll? Sekou, thank you so much. Do you have any final words for us before now we got our inspiration, time to put in a perspiration? And
Let's go, baby.
let's
So
go.
I'm offering all of you, every single one of you, I'm offering you a service that's brand new that I haven't done before. I'm offering you the qualifying coaching service. So if you have agents that you've attracted to this brand, whether they're in your team or not, I am offering to help them to qualify in their first 6 months. It is ridiculously inexpensive. There's a small registration fee, and then there's a monthly accountability fee that they do. I think it's like $50 or something like that. But all we do is activities that lead them to their first productive numbers. Now, this is different from mentoring. They still have a mentor. They still have this. The mentor is designed to show them where their paperwork is and to make sure that they do this, that, and the other thing. That ain't what I'm talking about. All I'm talking about is pure production, baby. No matter where you are, from sea to shining sea in this country, what we are going to do is get you productive. So just reach out to me through Tom, through myself. You guys are are the ace on the West Coast. I'm your East Coast connection. I will do anything in my power to make sure you're a millionaire. Fair enough, y'all?
Let's do it. Let's go. Thanks, Sekou. Appreciate everyone. Have a good day. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
Love you guys. Later.
Later. Love you, man. See ya. Let's go.